You follow me so far?
Yeah, but I don't like where you're headed. If you're thinking of us trying to get into that hospital tonight...
Not us, Herman. Me.
You're going to go in there alone after Kendall?
That's right.
Bonnie, look. Maybe they have relaxed a little, but you got to figure there's going to be a guard on Kendall's room. Probably the whole floor where he is going to be
But people still go in and out. Especially if he's as bad off as they say. They've got to be working on him practically all the time.
Sure. Doctors, nurses.
Yeah. A lot of nurses, I'll bet. Going in and out with IV bottles, medication, all that kind of thing. I did some volunteer work in a hospital once. I can be pretty convincing.
Bonnie, it'll never work. In the first place, they know what you look like.
From what? That picture they took years ago? Look at me, Herman. Would you know me from this?
Sure. I mean, if I looked close?
Nobody's going to be looking close. That's the whole idea, don't you see? It'll work, Herman. It will work.
You're the most beautiful woman in the world.
I think you need your eyes examined.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
All right. I accept your compliment. As long as you're the beholder.
Well, I better not catch anybody else beholding you.
Don't worry, you won't.
Your turn.
My turn? To what?
To make a toast.
Well, I don't know if I could find the words to express what I feel. Love and warmth and excitement of sharing a life together. Why are you smiling?
Well, for a woman who can't find the words, you're doing a real good job.
Okay. For that, I'm not going to say another word. Besides, you're teasing me.
No, you're teasing me.
That is not what I'm talking about. You made a purchase this morning.
I forgot all about it.
Uh-huh. You are teasing me.
Close your eyes. Now extend your left hand.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too, but it really is now that it's where it belongs.
Thank you. I can't wait to show it to Dorian.
I think we have to do that together. She's been a good friend, and it's only fair.
All right. I won't argue. Let's drink our champagne, and then we'll go. Mrs. Lord, I left a message for Dr. Jansen. Did he ever get it? When? Well, did you tell him it was very urgent? All right. All right, thank you very much. Excuse me. Mrs. Lord, Dr. Jansen and Miss Melinda are here to see you. Well, tell Melinda that I am not home to her, and then have Mr. Jansen come in as soon as possible. Yes, ma'am.
Dorian, why do you insist on I'm being so damn hurtful.
Well, you wouldn't ask me that question if you knew what happened to me today.
All right, what happened?
Melinda tried to kill me. She persuaded me to go horseback riding with her today. At first I was so glad. I thought that would be a chance for us to share something, to be close again, but then she deliberately hit my horse. Dorian! It's true, though, you did. My horse panicked and threw me. Peter, I cannot believe that she's telling you this. Dorian, why are you lying to Peter? Peter, please. I am not lying.
There must be a misunderstanding, Dorian.
No, this is perfectly clear to me now. After I told you that Peter and I were going to get married, you were so infuriated by it that you made up this vicious lie in an attempt to break us up. Do you realize that she has done nothing from the start but try to keep us apart? And you know what I realize? I realize that you are going to stop at nothing. No, Melinda, it's you. You're the one who will stop at nothing to hurt me.
Lynn would never do anything like that, Dorian.
Peter, she tried to kill me today. Shut up! Peter, would you please come with me? Peter, don't leave me alone, please! Peter, you have always encouraged me to do things on my own. I want to. Now is the right time. This is something that Dorian and I have to resolve on our own.
I cannot leave you with that now.
Peter, please. I know that you want to help. But as long as you are here, Dorian is going to do everything that she can to set you up against me. I am strong. I can handle it.
Okay. All right, I will drive around the block. And I'll come back and pick you up.
Okay. Don't worry. I'll be all right. You will. Dr. Scott's going to be doing the surgery.
Yes, he assures me he's the best.
Yes, so, with his talent and our prayers and your God-given strength, you will be fine. And when it is all over, I don't want you dilly-dallying in bed. I want you to come.
the phone. I couldn't believe it. When I looked at Dr. Scott's report on Jim's heart condition, I still can't take it all in. But there it is. Tests don't lie.
Just to think that Dr. Craig never told a soul. Now, you know he must have known, because things like that just they don't develop overnight.
Well, we knew he wasn't feeling well, but we had no idea that it was so serious.
Oh, and now this kidnapping. Good heavens.
Bad, too. He's on medication, and he has a very small supply.
What's going to happen then if this medication runs out?
Well, he can die.
Oh, such terrible things happening. You know, every time you get up, you think there's something more terrible that happens than the next day. You know, it's awful. How is it, Paul Kendall?
The operation was a success, but he's not out of danger. They're not sure whether or not he's going to be paralyzed. Yes, terrible things are happening, the kind of things that you read in the paper and you say to yourself, they can't happen here. But they do. The world's getting to be a very strange and frightening place.
Yeah, it seems that way. You know, we're just going to have to put our faith and trust in God and just pray that He'll just see us through all of this.
Mrs. Hall, Mrs. Gray, how are you?
Oh, Dr. Scott.
Have you heard anything?
No, I'm afraid not.
Dr. Scott, my daughter tells me that Dr. Craig will die. What's going to happen if he doesn't get medication?
She's right. And the stresses of his captivity won't work much in his favor either.
Dr. Scott, do you suppose that those kidnappers are watching television or listening to the radio or, to keep track of what's happening on the outside?
I imagine so, Mrs. Gray.
Well, Dr. Scott, couldn't you go on television or the radio or something and warn them about the seriousness of Dr. Craig's condition?
And let them know that to keep him for any length of time without medication will endanger his life?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Whom could I contact to make the necessary arrangements? Would Joe Reilly of the Banner... I'm sure, because the Banner owns the radio and the TV stations. Yes, I'm sure he could arrange it. Just a moment, Doctor. Yes.
I'm sorry, but Dr. Craig's wife and his daughter, well, they're not aware of his condition. It would be a terrible shock if they were to learn it from a broadcast.
Yes, of course. I'll stop off at the home and on my way to the television station.
May I go with you?
Oh, please do.
I'm very close to the family, and maybe I could be of some help.
Yes,
please.
Yes, indeed. And Kathy and Anna, they need all the help they can get.
Well, by all means, come along.
Thank you. I'll see you at home.
Jim, can you hear me? Jim.
Yes.
Are you all right?
I guess I'm still a little groggy. No pills for me to take. Just give me a minute. Clear my head.
Jim, you don't look all right.
Jenny, please. I'm fine.
Jim, you've got to get out of here. We have to find a way to get out.
Jenny, please. Listen to me. Those people are political terrorists. They're fanatics. They're very dangerous.
Cannot just sit here and let them load us up with sleeping pills. There has to be a way out.
Maybe there is a way out, but you must know that if we fail, they would not hesitate to kill us both.
You can do it for tonight. These terrorists make me so damn mad. And they're always preying on innocent people like Jenny and Dr. Craig.
Yeah, it's hard to conceive of people being able to justify terror as a means of advancing a cause.
Well, the ends justify the means. And that philosophy is just so much rot.
I'll say it is. Well, sweetheart, Let's go home and try and get some rest.
Okay, do you think we could stop by the hospital, see Paul, and see how Pat's holding up?
Yeah, of course. Abbott?
Oh, I see somebody else takes solace in working.
Hello, Edwina. We're just leaving.
I knew that if I went home, I wouldn't be able to sleep worrying about Paul, so I just decided to stay and work.
Well, we're on our way to the hospital to see him.
Good night, Richard. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Viki.
Good to see you. Good night.
Don't work too late at it.
Mr. Wright?
Oh, I'm surprised to find you here.
Where else would I be when the biggest story that ever hit Landview's on top of us?
Of course. Why don't you come by my place? Have a nightcap. I'll fix us a late supper. At least we can keep each other company while we wait this thing out, huh?
No thanks. I got something to do that I've been putting off because of the situation with Paul. I'm stopping by the Blue Ridge Club.
Do you really think that's a safe thing to do right now? Well, I mean, because you're so worried about Becky and her husband, and since you're going to have to stay on top of this thing with the terrorists, you should keep your mind clear, eh?
Yeah, sure, Edwina. Excuse me, I've got to go.
Let me go with you. You're going to need a friend.
This is my affair. I don't want any company.
All right, well, listen. Promise me that you'll come by my place afterwards. Just so I know you'll be safe, that you haven't tangled with her husband.
Edwina, what is with you? Do you think I'm some sort of a kid who can't take care of myself?
No, it's not that.
Well, I can take care of myself. And if I need a mother, I'll fly to Paris and make use of my own. Thank you very much.
Try to get away? They'll kill us?
That's exactly what I mean.
Jim, that can't be true. They're just using us to get to Paul Kendall.
Jenny, these people don't act in a rational way. And for all we know, Paul could have died from his wounds in spite of surgery. And if that's the case, even though we're useless to them, I'm sure they'd never take a chance on releasing us.
All right. So what you're saying is that we shouldn't try anything until we have a plan, a good plan.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Jim, look, there's no point in trying to hide that. I know the symptoms of angina when I see them.
Is that right?
It's true, isn't it?
I'm the doctor. And here you are diagnosing. All right, Jenny. I'm just trying to keep you from worrying.
I can see you're in terrible pain. Your breathing is labored. Your color is terrible. Even a first-year nurse would know what those symptoms mean.
Matter of fact, the pain is beginning to let up now.
Myocardial ischemia, right?
Atherosclerotic lesions. Dr. Scott has me scheduled for coronary bypass tomorrow morning. I was going to check into the hospital this afternoon. I was going to go tell Ann and Kathy.
It had to happen.
Great timing.
Well, at least you have your medicine.
Not much, since I was going to check into the hospital this afternoon.
How much do you have?
There's 2 left.
2? Jim, you run out?
I know. Then I'm troubled, that's all. Jenny, where you go? Jenny, don't do that.
Hey, you out there!
That's not going to help us.
I have to talk to you. What's the matter? Dr. Craig is very sick. What the hell is going on in here? Look, he has a very serious heart condition, and he was scheduled to have surgery tomorrow. He needs a coronary bypass to save his life. If he's so sick, what was he doing in the hospital parking lot?
I was on my way home to tell my wife and daughter that I was checking in. They don't know anything about this condition.
And he needs to take some medication just to keep himself alive, and he's running out of it. What do you have on your mind? Look, why don't you just let him go, okay? You can keep me. I'll be the hostage, all right? I don't believe a word of your story. Well, it's true. I'm telling you. Just let him go and keep me. You're useless as an exchange for Paul Kendall.
Listen a minute, will you? If I write out a prescription, will one of you take it to a drugstore and have it filled?
No. They're probably watching the drugstores. How many people know about this condition of yours?
My doctor, my secretary.
Okay. So let's just say you are telling the truth. Feeling better. If they know that you'll die without your medication, it'll light a fire under them to trade Paul Kendall in a hurry.
Paul Kendall is a very dangerously wounded man. Very severely wounded man. They'd never turn him over to you. It'd kill him.
And if they don't, it'll kill you. I think I'll just let Riley know you're running out of medicine, Doc. You know, it ought to give him something to think about. Look, you can't do this. Oh, no. Come on, Herman, we're wasting our time in here.
Thanks for trying, Jenny.
It just made things worse.
No, maybe not. That idea about exchanging probably gave them something to think about.
I can't administer CPR, but...
Yeah, but we both know that I probably can't survive too long without a coronary care unit, don't we?
We've just got to find a way out of here. I think that's the only answer. Now that Peter is gone, maybe we can be totally honest with each other. You'd do anything to keep us apart, wouldn't you? That is not the issue today, Melinda. Oh, yes, it is. You know, ever since I have first known Peter... We are talking about horseback riding. And the fact that you deliberately hit my horse. Does that really surprise you, Dorian? Does it really surprise you, after everything you have done to me, that one day I would strike back and give you what you deserve? You admit that you tried to kill me today? I admit nothing. You just said so. Well, then you didn't listen to me. Because all I did was ask you a question. I'm not going to let you evade this issue. Now, there was only one purpose why you invited me to join your team. You know something? You really love to be melodramatic, don't you? All right, then answer me this. Did you or did you not deliberately hit my horse? Maybe I did. Then I'm right. Maybe you are right. Maybe I did. And I'll tell you something. You've had it coming for a long time. Linda, don't look so shocked. If anyone's to blame, it's you. Do you know something? You have hated me ever since I was born. That's not true. Would you just be quiet and listen to me? Don't you dare shout at me. I said to be quiet and listen to me. All right. I am listening. I'm listening. You have victimized me ever since I was a child. You were jealous of my talent. And you resented the fact that I was so close to Mom. That's not true. Now, I loved you. I loved you, and I was always very proud of you. No, you never loved me. You tried to dominate my whole life. And because you were stronger, I listened to you. But no more. I did everything I could for you. Everything was for your best interest. Would you stop lying? Everything you ever did made me miserable. You were so terrified of me being in the... My accident. That day that we went riding years ago, you hit my horse. No, that's not true. Oh, yes, you did, because you wanted to kill me. Because you wanted to be the whole show. My God, Melinda, how could you ever say something like that? Because, my darling sister, it's true. And maybe I always knew it. And I didn't want to face it. Because let's face it, that's not something you want to admit about your own sister. I don't have to listen to this. You're right. Listen to me until I finish. You set out to kill me, but you failed. But you were willing to settle for second best. A crippled, disabled sister that you could dominate. Melinda, no. Oh, yes. But your little game is over. I am through suffering at your hands. And I'm going to get even with you.
And you really did want me dead out there today, didn't you?
No. No, I didn't. Because there would have been very little satisfaction in that. I want you to pay. I want you to suffer the way that you made me suffer. No, I don't want you to die. I want you right where you are.
My God. You're turning into a little monster.
And if I am, I've learned from you.
I'm going to tell Peter. I have to tell Peter every single thing that you've said.
Go right ahead. And I'll deny it. Just the way that you denied it when you told me that you and Peter were lovers. And then you made him think that I made up the whole thing.
And it's all in your fantasy world, isn't it? You never loved Peter. You just went after him because you knew that I cared for him.
Oh, no, I love him very much. And I'm going to marry him.
Melinda, have you completely lost your mind?
No, on the contrary. I have found it. And this is the first time that I am using it. And I'll tell you something, Dorian. Don't you ever try to get in my way again. Don't you ever try to dominate me or try to send me back to the sanitarium. Because if you do, you'll be very sorry. No, on second thought, maybe you should try. It might be very amusing. Who knows? If you keep it up long enough, maybe people would think that you should be there instead of me. You know what I mean?
Melinda, you know you're not going to get away with this.
Oh, yes, I will. You know why? Because I learned from you. And I learned very well.
Wants to stop by. And at this hour. I just hope there isn't any more bad news.
No, he didn't sound that way. Maybe he just wants to be supportive.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like the man your father describes. He wouldn't have time for that.
Well, people are oftentimes quite different when there's a crisis. I'm sure he knows that we're worried, that we'd still be waiting up for some word.
Wish we would hear something.
I'm sure we will.
Dr.
Scott, won't you come in?
Thank you. Mrs. Craig, I wouldn't intrude upon you at so late an hour if it weren't a matter of extreme importance. I must tell you that Dr. Craig has a serious heart condition, one that requires immediate attention.
What do you mean?
I had scheduled coronary bypass surgery for him tomorrow morning, first thing.
He was on his way to tell you when the kidnappers got him.
I'll give you a hint. It's got a French name. It comes in a bottle. When you pour it in the glass, it gets all bubbly.
Richard, you went out and spent your good money on a bottle of champagne.
I think you're a pretty good guesser, you know that?
You shouldn't have done it.
Why not? It's your first day in the job. You gotta celebrate.
Okay. It was awful nice of you to think of that. You see, I promised my
Daddy that...
Oh, that your lips wouldn't touch liquor until you were 21.
That's right. I bet you think I'm awful old-fashioned.
No, I think it's strictly your business. But I never consider champagne to be liquor.
Has it got alcohol in it?
Little bit.
Then it's liquor.
Doesn't taste like liquor. You ever tasted it?
No, I told you.
Well, I'm not going to drink it alone. Hey, I'll tell you what. You take it home, give it to your landlady, and have her put it in the refrigerator, and then sometime when you want to celebrate, you'll have champagne.
I got a feeling Miss Hopkins will drink it first.
I
think so.
Oh, yeah?
At least it seems that way sometimes. Of course, my daddy told me some people need it to keep them going. Now, I'm not criticizing, but sometimes she and Mr. Blue, he's the guy that lives in the room right over mine, sometimes late at night down in the parlor, they play music together. Did you know Miss Hopkins plays the cello? And I think, along with the music, I expect there's some hooch being swilled down there.
I expect you're right. Tell me about your father. He sounds like an interesting man.
Why do you want to know?
Curious? Don't you ever get curious about people?
I believe in minding my own business.
Is that why you never ask me any questions about myself?
I guess so. Did you open this?
You pride yourself on being a real loner, don't you?
The Lord helps them that helps themselves.
Well, that's true. Didn't the Lord also tell us to help one another?
I'm not a loner, Richard. You don't know me as well as you think you do.
Well, that's right. But I'm willing to listen. Tell me about yourself.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I've been busy. Becky in her dressing room?
Well, yeah.
Let's see just how long it'll take you to handle that, Miss Becky.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
The radio and television spots will be broadcast tonight and throughout tomorrow.
It was very kind of you to come and tell us. Dr. Scott, what are you going to say to the terrorist?
Well, I'll merely inform them of the seriousness of his heart condition and appeal for his release. If you'll excuse me, I must get to the television station. Mrs. Craig, I'm really sorry about all this.
Dr. Scott, thank you for coming. Good night. And thank you again.
Not at all. I hope there'll be better news soon.
Poor Dad. I knew he wasn't well. Every time I questioned him, he put it down to overwork. If I'd only known, he didn't want you to know. To worry. Well, it's just like him. Not to want us to know.
Jenny, please forget about that window. We could never get through it. And if we could, we don't know what's on the other side. And if we could manage to crawl up there and one of us get out, that would still leave one of us down here.
Jim, I'm just worried about you. I just want you to get out. If you could get out, you could get some help.
You forget about that because I'm not going anywhere without you.
Don't be stubborn.
Don't you see, once they found that I was gone, they would get out of here immediately and take you with them, or even worse, they'd kill you.
I broke the window and I just started screaming for help.
No, they'd hear us. And in a minute, they'd be crawling all over us. They mean business, Jenny.
Look, they take turns going out, don't they?
I don't know, I guess so.
Right, well, listen, I've got a plan then. But we have to wait until Herman is guarding us. Richard, anybody see you coming here?
I don't know. Why?
Because my husband's out here, that's why. Now, you got to get out right now.
I'm not going anywhere. Well, here I am.
I told you, Luke's out there.
I told you I'm not going anywhere.
You always was stubborn.
Look who's talking.
Please, Richard, please get out of here before something awful happens.
Oh, I wish we could have seen Paul.
No one's allowed in the intensive care except that.
I know that. I just wish we could have seen him just to let him know we're there.
No, sweetheart, we will.
Well, I expect he'll come out of this fine anyway.
I talked to the nurse. She said Pat was asleep in the room next to intensive
Thank God
care.
she's resting.
Yeah, at least she's safe there. This place is full of guards. Probably safer there than she's been ever since this thing started.
Do you know, I can't stop thinking about Jenny and Jim and those fanatics. It's absolutely terrifying to think that anyone can be kidnapped off a street or out of a parking lot of their own homes and held against their will.
Oh, sweetheart, but it happens.
Oh, well, maybe tomorrow will be better. I can hear them talking now.
What are they saying?
She's talking about leaving. She's saying that he has to take guard.
This could be our chance if we're ever going to get one. He's got to be weakened by that infection.
I hope so.
Well, let's just wait until we're sure that she's left.
Do you have any idea how I felt when you left?
Yeah, I think so.
How? Tell me.
Nothing to tell. We're married and my husband came back.
So you're married, so you lied to me.
I never lied to you. I just never said nothing about it.
Viki, it hurt like hell when I found out you were married. And to him. But I know you don't love him.
Who says?
I do. I know that. You never would have agreed to go to Europe with me. You never would have gotten involved with me if you loved him.
Richard, will you please just go and forget about me?
I can't. I love you. You're my life. Divorce him. This Luke. Divorce him and let's get on with our lives.
Richard, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Now get out of here before he finds you here.
You're afraid of it.
Look, he's awful mad about you and me, Richard. Please, please go away before there's trouble.
You ran out on me for a man who you don't love, who you're afraid of.
Look, Richard, I don't have time for explanations. Get out of my dressing room.
No.
I don't love you. Can you understand that?
Please, no more lies.
Well, if you didn't have such a big head, you'd understand plain English. I know I don't speak it so good, but I reckon I speak it well enough to tell you to get out of my life and stay out.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Well, you haven't got any choice. Because Luke and me are two of a kind. You just love me because I'm different. Different from the other people you knew. But your friends knew and they laughed at me. And they were right. I belong in my own world and you belong in yours, so you stop trying to spoil mine.
Viki, that's a lot of nonsense. For better or worse, we love each other, you know that.
I don't know nothing of the kind. You just get out of here and leave me alone.
No. Please. Come work things out. And you got a show to do, but we can work things out, Viki, but you've got to be honest with me.
No, I had my say, Richard. Look, I'm with Luke now. I want you to get out of here and you stop whining at me about the things that can't be and never was.
If you know enough.
you got in that clever little head of yours now? Worried about your uppity reputation, or are you scared maybe little old Richie's going to find out how you done him in?
I'm just here to help keep you out of trouble you don't need to get into.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on here. Who do you think you are? You know, I got me a mind to go courting trouble. Don't need no fancy female to ask about it. You got that?
Look, I know Richard came to see Becky, but he just came to say goodbye and to wish her good luck, that's all.
Well, now ain't that gentlemanly of him? Appear to me you still barking up a dead tree. And that punk boy's still after my woman, and I aim to put him out of business permanently.
There's no need to. Richard's no match for you. He knows that. He just wants to say goodbye. It's the way he was brought up. He's not doing anything out of line.
Now, if I understand you, woman, how come you messing around with some panty-waist that you got a wet nurse all the time? Can't you find any real man to tangle with?
Richard is as much of a real man as you are. He just goes about it differently, that's all.
Yeah? Well, one thing he ain't going about is my Becky. Now, we done talked enough. I got me some unfinished business with Miss Richard.
You wait. Believe me, could you? It's all over now. Did you see his face? Look. Don't you try to follow us. If you do, I'll call the police.
Dr. Craig needs some water to take his medication.
Can he swallow dry?
Look, if you don't get it, I'll scream.
Maybe pushing your luck, you know that? I'll get the water. Wish the hell we never picked you up.
Hey, woman, stop all that crying. You want to mess your makeup. Now, won't you tell me? What happened in here with you and that there Richard?
I've done what you wanted me to. I sent him away for good. I hurt the most decent man I ever known. And Richard never did anybody no harm. He didn't know about you. But you don't have to worry, because he's not going to want to see me anymore.
I ain't worried. I know damn well he ain't ever going to lay eyes on you again. I'll see to that.
Remember, when he opens the door, you get far enough into the room so that I can get to him.
All right. Now be careful, okay?
You water.
Thank you. Aren't you even going to talk to me? From the look on your face, I guess there are a lot of things you need to talk about.
What is it, Edwina? You never got to be a Girl Scout when you were a kid? You're a frustrated social worker? What?
What's all this hostility towards me?
You're hassling me, and I don't feel like being hassled right now.
Hassled? I saved you from being killed.
Stop the dramatics, will you?
Richard, Becky's husband was on his way to her dressing room with blood in his eyes. I stopped him.
Thanks a lot for saving me, Edwina. That's twice in 1 week you've saved me from that Neanderthal. How do you do it?
I use all my feminine charms. I flutter my eyelashes. I flirt with him. Why are you taking all this out on me?
If you don't like it, you can get the hell out.
When are you going to start saying that to Becky? Remember her? That cute little thing who came up here from the hills and ran circles around you?
Give me a break, will you, Edwina?
Richard, will you stop sulking and throwing sarcastic little temper tantrums at me and start getting angry at the person you should be angry with? Rebecca Lee Jackson.
I am angry at her, but I also love her. I don't think she's staying with that man by choice.
Then why isn't she with you?
I don't know.
According to you, the only villain in this is her husband, and Becky's just an innocent victim?
Could be.
Oh, Richard. If you were covering this story instead of living it, you'd see it for the nonsense it is. Do you think Becky's husband sent her up here? Did he make her tell you that she was in love with you? Force her to keep her marriage a secret? Demand she lie and tell you that she was going to marry you? Did he do all those things?
No.
Well, then face it. All of Becky's charm and innocence was just a charade. She ran away from home for a while and came up north looking for kicks.
Kicks?
Richard, if Becky were in love with you, she'd be here with you now. She'd have told you about Luke Jackson and be in the midst of divorcing him. Please stop prolonging your suffering by twisting everything around. Face it, Becky doesn't want you.
Can I help you? Yes, please. I'm only for a guy named Marco Dane. Has he been in here tonight?
Marco?
He's been in and out. At the moment he's out. If you stick around, he should be in shortly. Okay, thanks. I'll have a club soda. My sister will have whatever. Sister? My. I had 4 sisters. None of them look like you.
I'll have diet soda.
No, babe. No diet soda.
You have ginger ale?
Ginger ale? Right on.
What do you want to talk to Marco about?
Because maybe he can help us. Maybe he can help us find Jenny.
Oh, come on, Brad. I mean, Marco is a lot of things, but he's not a revolutionary.
I'm not saying he is, Sam. I'm just saying that he might know someone who is. Thanks. Sam, I'm going crazy. I can't just sit around doing nothing. The cops keep telling me to stay cool, leave it to them. How can I do that? I'm going bananas.
I know.
My Jenny, my sweet Jenny. She wouldn't hurt anybody. Sam, what if they've already hurt her?
Look, hey, come on. You cannot think things like that.
There's nothing else I can do. I haven't got anything to do but think. Why couldn't they have taken somebody else? Why couldn't they have taken me?
She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's so incredible, Brad, how someone can just be minding their own business and...
I keep trying to remember if I told her that I loved her. Before she went to work this morning. And if I did tell her, do you think she really knows how much I mean? God, Sam, do you think she has any idea how much she means to me?
I don't know, but look, you're going to have plenty of time to do that, to tell her when she comes home again.
Yeah. She'll come home. I'm going to find her, Sam. I have to find her.
Hi, folks.
Bonnie.
I've got a gun on him, Bonnie. Congratulations. I have a bigger gun on all of you. Look, if you don't let it go, I'll shoot. Go ahead. Then I'll kill you and your doc friend there.
Bonnie?
I won't. I'll blow you all away if I have to, including you, Herman. But nobody's leaving here.
Who is it, Jenny?
Damn right she does. She'd kill her own mother if she had to.
You've got 3 seconds. 1, 2... All right. Okay. I guess we're going to have to drug you again because you can't be trusted.
No, he can't take that kind of medication with his condition.
Jenny, it's all right. It's all right.
Seems you're the one with the brains, Doc. Herman?
Yeah.
Get them back in there. Make sure they take 2 pills each. And make sure you don't lose your gun to Florence Nightingale again, okay?
All right, get back in there.
Has requested us to play this urgent taped message.
This is Dr. Jack Scott, Chief of Cardiovascular Services at Landview Hospital. This message is primarily intended for Mr. Herman Cantrell and Miss Bonnie Harmer, who presently are holding Dr. James Craig and Mrs. Jenny Vernon as hostages. We must urgently relay to you the fact that Dr. Craig, who is my patient, has a very critical heart condition that requires constant medication.
It's true.
Yes.
Without this medication for his heart, his life is in grave danger. Thus, we urge you, if you will not release him, to at least make sure he does get another prescription filled, because...
What's so funny?
We're trying to trade one dying man for another dying man.
Not going to die.
Well, you heard Jack Scott on the radio. And then you heard Bonnie laughing. Doesn't sound to me like they're going to be rushing out to get me my medication.
Even so, you're not going to die, Jim.
No, of course not. No. They'll find us in time, or one of them will go and get my medication, or you'll perform open heart surgery on me right here.
I really thought that we could get out. Once I got that gun, I was sure we were just going to go marching out of here.
I was sure that she would have killed Herman to keep us here.
I know. Don't they care about anything?
No. We are all expendable. Oh, damn. I guess Anna and Kathy heard about my heart condition on the radio.
No, I'm sure that Dr. Scott told them beforehand. I'm sure.
Oh, I hope so, Jenny. They must be out of their minds with worry.
Look, don't worry about that now, okay? Don't worry about them. Just worry about yourself, especially in this condition.
Sometimes it's better to worry about someone else rather than just think about yourself all the time.
You're out of your mind, you know that?
And you're a coward.
That's not true. Because I have some sort of conscience.
Social conscience. The kind society develops for you.
That doctor has nothing to do with us getting kindled. He's just an innocent bystander. I don't want him dying in that room. I don't want it on my conscience. I don't want it on my record.
One more death isn't going to make any difference on your record, Herman.
Look, let's just let him go, okay? He'll get the medicine he needs.
He'll get the medication he needs when we exchange him for Paul Kendall. Wait a minute. This couldn't be better.
What are you talking about?
This is going to put pressure on the authorities to make the trade, don't you see? It's going to be up to the establishment to save his life. If they don't make that trade, Herman, we're innocent.
What do you mean?
If they don't make that trade, It won't be us that killed him. It'll be them.
Our only chance is Herman, Jenny. Apparently, she is completely without mercy.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. But maybe we can work something out with him. Not now, because we tried to escape, but... How are you feeling?
I'm all right. A little drowsy. I guess these pills are beginning to work.
Yeah, well, they are for me, too. Maybe we shouldn't fight it anymore tonight. Maybe we should just go to sleep. Maybe tomorrow we'll wake up and we'll be saved.
Take your sister to only the nicest places. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
I've been looking for you, Margaret.
Me?
That's right, there's something I want you to do. Oh, well, in that case, it was a wasted trip, because I certainly don't owe you any favors, now do I? Well, see you later.
Marco, please. Marco, okay. Just hear him out, okay? Please?
Hey. Look, I'm not talking about a favor, I'm talking about a job. Well, I'm doing pretty well these days. I really don't need another job, Brad.
It's important.
All right, Brad, talk to me. But I want you to know I'm only doing this because of your sister.
Thank you.
Look, you heard about what happened to my wife. Yeah, that's why I don't know what you're doing here. I was looking for you, Marco. I want you to help me find her. Now, my reputation in town is really getting out of hand. You don't think I can just pick up a phone and find out where they've got her, do you? No, but you probably could. You could pick up a phone. You could find somebody who could. None of my best friends happen to be revolutionaries. They're into guns and politics. I like broads and money. Come on, Marco, listen to me.